Okay, so guys, this is my first long video. Today we're going to be talking about the solar system. Our home in space. The sun is our star of the solar system. But there's also planets. And these are the planets. This little one is called Mercury. Mercury is the first planet from the sun, so it's very hot. But it's also not the biggest, the hottest planet. That title goes to Venus, which we will talk about later on. Anyway, Mercury is the first planet from the sun. It doesn't have any moons or an atmosphere. Mercury takes 59 minutes. It takes around 59 days to orbit its axis. As you can see, it takes just around 59 days to do that. This is when it starts, and this is when it ends. Anyway, now that's enough with Mercury. We're going to be talking about Venus now. So, Venus is the second planet from the sun. It's as big as Earth, but it's incredibly hot. Venus is also the hottest planet in the solar system. It's the second planet from the sun. Its average temperature is around 900 degrees. Whoops. Yeah, you wouldn't want to live there. Anyway, let's now talk about Earth, which is our very special planet. Earth is really special to us because it's the third planet from the sun, and it's where we live. It's where you live. Anyway, Earth also has a moon called Moon, but most people call it Luna. Anyway, Luna was created after a huge collision of Earth, and it was called the Theia collision. Theia was as big as Mars, so it doesn't really matter now. Anyway, that's enough talking about Earth, so we're going to talk about Mars. Mars is the fourth planet from the sun. It's too cold for life, but some people think it used to be made of life, and at its pole, and at its North Pole, there's actually some ice, and that's pretty interesting. This planet is also home to the Olympus Mons. It's so big that you can literally see it from space. Mars also has two little moons, Phobos and Deimos. However, these two moons are going to have very different fates. Phobos is being dragged into Mars, while Deimos is moving away. In about 10 million years, Phobos will get too close to Mars and will explode from it. And it will be ripped apart, causing Mars to have beautiful rings like Saturn, while poor little Deimos will be too far away from Mars for its gravity to hold on to. Anyway, that's basically enough talking about Mars. So let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the sun. It has 95 moons so far, but it only has a few moons listed in this game. Well, in this simulation. Io is this moon, and then Europa is believed to have frozen oceans that contain life. But anyway, Ganymede is the biggest moon in the solar system. It's bigger than Mercury, and it's the only moon that has a real magnetic field, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, let's talk about Callisto. Callisto is this moon right here. It's believed to be a pretty old moon, but yeah. And honestly, that's enough about Jupiter. But one more thing about Jupiter is that it actually has rings. But the rings are very dim and faint. There's only 4 of them. Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun. Saturn became the king of the planet, became the lord of the moons, because Saturn has 146 moons total, but there's only a few listed, only the big moons. Minos is the smallest moon here, and it has craters on it. It's pretty close to the rings. Enceladus is a very small moon. It barely has any craters, which is pretty interesting. But it has a lot of craters right here. Anyway, Tethys is even smaller. It's pretty small. It's a pretty small moon. But, yeah. And then, this is the next moon. Dione. Anyway, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a moon that is a part of Saturn. It's believed to be one of the moons of Saturn that is basically just, well, honestly, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. There's also a few more moons, but I'll just be talking about those moons today because I don't want this video to last 10 minutes. Anyway, the 7th planet is Uranus. Uranus is pretty funny because it has rings, just like the other gas giants. However, it has a very funny way of spinning because it spins on its side. Just look, it spins on its side. Pretty funny way of doing that, right? And Uranus actually has 28 moons. There's only a few listed, but I'm not going to talk about them because I don't want this video to last 10 minutes. And Neptune is the last planet from the sun. It has 16 moons. What's pretty interesting about Neptune is that there's a great blue spot, which is pretty weird. And Neptune is the farthest planet from the sun, so it's incredibly cold. And just like the other planets, it is rotating normally, but there's something weird about one of the moons, Triton. Triton is a moon of Saturn that is of Neptune that is pretty odd, because it actually rotates the planet in retrograde. And apparently there's another moon of Neptune that is also very weird, because it is very far away from the planet. Bro, just look at that. It takes several months just to make a room. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, we're gonna have a bonus Pluto. Pluto originally was the 9th planet, but it was debunked in 2006 after the demotion of a planet was taken. Pluto has 5 moons, but only one is listed. The one that is listed is called Charon. Charon and Pluto are actually considered a binary dwarf planet system because Charon does this to Pluto. It basically makes it move. Pluto, it used to be the furthest planet from the sun until it was debunked. And Pluto takes 248 years to orbit the sun. So, that's all you need to know. And bye-bye.